Well, just go head-to-head trying to find the best route. And in this level, I'm hoping that we had a similar situation to one of the levels previously, where there are two similar routes. But here we are getting going. We see an immediate saws of death on the sort of upper route there. And Carter is actually making it further on their first run than Ghostdeath. A few hesitations there. Look at that mini saw blade. Have we seen that before? That's kind of cute.
Ok.
Yeah, no, it was
Forcément c'est lent.
really good to see Carter just take it a bit slower there, just to get themselves a time on the board, although immediately dying there. But yeah, no, it's great to see. And Carter is actually doing a great job of showing off a little thing that we didn't mention last time in the color selection for characters. We talked about it on Sunday, and now we get the opportunity to talk about it again today. The beautiful blue skin there for Carter, which is just lovely.
I was going to say, aren't they both using the wrong color? Because we know from the Avalon that green is the fastest color, and neither are using green. Do you think they know they're at a disadvantage?
Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I'll tell you one thing that we did notice earlier was Unsmar was using a PlayStation controller as opposed to the Xbox controller we're used to seeing.
And I saw that Carter do something really interesting at the end there. Instead of jumping over the saw blades, they went under them, sliding under. Oh, and just as Ghostdeath is doing right there, and that is an interesting optimization to have.
Yeah, it looks like Ghostdeath with a slightly faster time at the moment. Our stats team desperately trying to keep on top of who's finishing what, because after saying, you know, it's nice to see Ghostdeath just get a time on the board, they've immediately both gone and put faster times down on the board. So Karterfreak there getting an 8.72. Wow, that is fast.
That is fast. Wow. A full second ahead of Ghostdeath. And I wonder if Ghostdeath is aware of this yet. Or do they know they've been beaten by over a second?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more nuance to this level as well, because if you go too fast, you're going to get yourself caught up with these saws and the way that they're moving and such. So you see here Carter throwing his dash dagger forward and fast. Or, well, Ghostdeath trying the top route actually, but Carter was throwing his dagger forward and fast, but look, where the saw is there, he couldn't throw his dagger diagonally down, which may have been a lot faster. And it's just little things like that that keep developing as we learn more about this game, is that, yes, you might be the fastest in the opening section, but is that definitely the fastest way to do it, or would you be able to slow down somewhere to line everything up in the level just that little bit better?
Right, and that's what we were seeing from Ghostdeath as well. Instead of doing dagger throws all the time, which we know has an extra animation associated with an extra time, therefore, Ghostdeath was actually just running across some of the areas, and hopefully, that looks like they are optimizing that one section with having a slide rather than the dagger throw. And it's going to be interesting to see how the runners navigate these levels, which motions they choose in which area, and how, of course, they compete against each other.
I've just lost in Carter's VTuber thing, where as he makes a mistake or he dies or similar, you can see the dog just look down in disappointment. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'm like, I was trying to watch Ghost and see what they were doing, not to try to just, like, look at that sad little puppy dog looking sideways, like, no, I have failed.
When they give him little pets.
Yeah. And then floppy
instead of
ears
giving
wiggling
dogs...
a tiny bit.
Yeah. But we're not here to talk about dogs, we are here to talk about Aeon Drive, which will be out on Thursday, so get it wishlisted now. If you type !Aeon in chat, it will give you a link to the Steam list, as Carter has dropped his time even further. 8.2 seconds for him to get through this level. That is just getting disgustingly fast, and Ghostdeath's going to need to really work hard in these last 5 minutes to optimize that route.
Right, Ghostdeath not even looking at the leaderboards yet. Oh, Ghostdeath is trying a different route. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh no, but getting killed at the end there. But of course, first run through a particular route is never going to be the fastest time unless you are incredibly lucky or you're wearing green. No, jokes aside, I mean, this is a joke. Just be aware, green is not actually faster. It was just meant to let you know that there are multiple colors of the avatar, and it's cool that the devs have added that particular option, because it's always nice to be kind of, wearing your favorite colors as you're going through these games, because as you speedrun these games, obviously you spend a lot of time in them, and it's pleasant to see if there is like a favorite color scheme that you can choose out of I don't know how many there are available. At least 4, I think.
Just going through it in my head, there is red, yellow, blue, green, and purple. I think there's pink as well, but I don't remember 100%. But there's definitely at least 4 or 5. And it changes more than just the actual character itself. It changes the reticle and the knife. So it might not just be a visual bonus for you. It might be, say, you struggle to see red on pink. So in Sector 2, in this sector, you struggle to see where the reticle is on your knife once you've thrown it. And therefore a green might work better because of the color clash. Or when you're on an orange level, you might want a blue for that color clash, so that you can actually see. I'm just giving a different example so I don't just bang on about green all the time, because I know that makes
I
everyone
thought you were
up.
going to say, yeah, if you're playing an orange level, green is also superior.
Yeah, just to reiterate Catherine's point, green is not giving any real benefit to this game. The developers will kill us if we tell you there's an advantage for green. There is not. It is completely even, except for the parts where it's not, because it is the superior color.
No, this is just poking fun at our dear Avalon, who we know loves green and purple. Like, really loves green and purple. Do you wear green and purple every day? I'm curious now.
Every day. I've got green shirts, purple ties. It's all good.
Nice. Very nice. But back to the game. One of the things that I wanted to comment on is that there is a point in this route they are working where it does seem that they are at the very edge of the dash dagger range, and they need to get to the edge of that lava bar or the energy bar in order to kind of make that. And I think it's that second jump that Ghostdeath just did. And it's interesting because we have seen, like, if they try to throw not close enough, the dagger misses. So that's something they really have to work into their runs, is to get close to that lava barrier or energy barrier and not get killed, like Carter just did.
Almost had it.
Trying to get through there.
The movement of the dash dagger is something else that needs to be really thought about when you're going through this, and I know for a fact from playing it myself that sometimes it's hard to keep a track of the range in your head when you're watching so many things. On levels like this where you've got lava bars, moving saws, and the dash dagger, and the timer, and everything else, and plus the pressure of this tournament, it's tough to keep that range in your head. And you've just seen there, Carter missing the down diagonal throw to start his run off there, and again. And it's just because of that pressure, and you're trying to be as fast as you can. Really decent times coming through though. Just 0.03 seconds than the PB on Ghost side there, but he's still half a second behind.
I was just about to say, we must be kind of on the same wavelength here. The times are very close. In a couple of runs ago, Ghostdeath actually tried to go up above and change the route a tiny bit, but I guess they didn't find it fast enough because they've gone, again, downward to take that downward route, trying to optimize that. There is only 1 minute, 30 seconds left for them to optimize. They need to hurry. And I guess Ghostdeath probably thought it's not worth losing the muscle memory for this level.
Yeah, it's worth noting Karterfreak, they're just putting a 7.4 seconds, but that was with mistakes. There is another half second to find there. On that run, Karterfreak, he threw the knife, fell down a pit, and then wall jumped back up and still put that time on the board. There is some really good optimization that can be made in this run.
And I don't think Ghostdeath has actually seen that time yet, doesn't know how far behind they are, but they do know that they are behind. So they need to make a better run. They have 50 seconds left to get it. Will they get there?
Yeah, and of course you've got to consider, just because they know the route and they know the optimizations, they've still, like you said, they've got less than a minute now. They need to get a perfect run, and Karterfreak, 6.61 seconds.
Wow.
Look at that. That is insanely fast. And
Just
yes, Ghostdeath
really blasting that time.
Yeah, Ghostdeath has dropped his PB, but he's still a second and a half slower. Massive gap between these two runners at the moment.
Less than 20 seconds left. Entertainingly enough, that is still long enough to post at least a couple more times. This game is just insanely fast.
Yeah, I'm just watching Karterfreak because that looked fast as well, but 6.67, I don't think that is going to be able to beat that 6.61 time, and Karterfreak will proceed on to our top 32 bracket, where he will race against Ultra Nerd. So it'll be interesting to see how Ultra Nerd plays differently in a race scenario to a showcase scenario.
Indeed. And hopefully both gamers will be at their best, and Karterfreak no longer needs to get his little doggy avatar and looking down in disappointment because he has won this match, as they're both kind of continuing to practice this level. But I'm sure Ghostdeath is going to be super, super disappointed at being 1.5 seconds slower.
Most definitely. So next up we are going to have Ultra Nerd versus Karterfreak, with the winner of them going into the top 16 bracket to face Pidgeot. Fortunately for you guys, I am going to take a step back and hand over to Markinator and Electric, and I'm going to drag Catherine off with me. So we will speak to you guys, I think tomorrow now, and leave you to watch the rest of the evening with those two.
It was great being with you, and enjoy the rest of the races.